Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining me. My name's Maureen Callister. I'm a kinesiologist, which means I use muscle testing to tap into the subconscious within each of our individual bodies when we do one-on-one sessions, but also tapping into the consciousness on the planet. So, what I wanted to do today was to get a little feel for the energy of what's happening tomorrow on the 17th of February, which is the beginning of the Chinese New Year. Now, there's a lot of excitement about tomorrow, the 17th of February, 1962. That's my birthday. 2026. Yeah. And there is a lot going on astrologically in particular. But let's stick with the Chinese New Year for now. We're looking at stepping out of the old year, which was the wood snake, and we're stepping into the fire dragon. And there'll be lots of celebrations, of course, all around the world, starting on the Chinese New Year. So, this transition from the snake to the horse, you just think of the symbols of those two animals, snake slithering away on the ground. But the thing that is probably the most symbolic with the snake is the shedding of the skin. The snake sheds its skin. And we've also gone from a 9 year. So when you add up the numbers 2 and 2 plus 5, that was a 9 year. Now we've got 2 plus 2 plus 6 is a 10, which is a 1. In numerology, you bring everything down to a single digit. So we've gone from a 9 year, which is the completion and the finishing out of the old, and bringing in the new energy. So we got the snake shedding its skin, letting go of the old. And the new energy that's coming in is the horse. So absolutely the horse power. So this is about power, shifting, going fast, very fast energy. And astrologically, we're looking at a lot of very fast energy this whole year. Now, the energy of the fire horse comes around every 60 years. Well, every animal and every element come together every 60 years. I think that's correct. And again, the energy of the wood is to do with the liver and the gallbladder. The wood elements are got to do with anger, resentment, everything that is in and below the ground, but it's where everything rises up from. And the fire element is to do with the heart, small intestine, but the heart is your passion, your purpose, and the small intestine's got to do with breaking down and absorbing all the nutrients out of your food and therefore out of life. Can you break down and metabolize everything that's going on, including your emotions? And of course, the heart is to do with what do I love and what do I hate. So everything's got opposites because we live in polarity at the moment. And so the fire horse is fast, passionate, powerful energy. So I really felt compelled to come on and have a chat with you about this because I want you to be prepared. Okay. We know the world's going crazy, but it's because we're going from the old into the new. And I think I should bring in a bit of the astrology. So we've got a solar eclipse also happening tomorrow. The moon moves in between the earth and the sun, causing a solar eclipse, which will create what they call the ring of fire. So because the moon passes between the sun and the earth, it's going to create that big light emanate. It's going to look like it's emanating from around the moon. And we've also got a new moon in Aquarius. So the solar eclipse is big energy, right? The sun and the moon coming together. It's the beginning of a new moon, but it's bringing in again massive changes. And Aquarius energy is all about individuation and the individual power and responsibility to become what I love to call, and I've used it in my book. There we go. I've mentioned the book already, The Gift of Self-Worth. And a lot of what I'm trying to portray in the book is getting people into their independent individuality, very Aquarian, because we must each become independent individuals, stand in our own authority and our own power, so that we can express our personal power. But we do that. We become independent individuals, taking responsibility for our own lives and individually being the very best that each of us can be for the good of the collective. So that part's really important. You cannot need other people. When I say need, it's very much that I'm not okay by myself. I have too much fear. I'm not grounded. Is like an addiction to needing something outside of me to make me safe. That is not good for humanity, and it's not good for the individual because it creates all sorts of resentment and anger and frustration and a lot of all of the not good enough stuff. So we have to come inside and to really establish our independent authority and power. And that's what Aquarius is all about. So that energy is really coming forward this year. So we have to go inside and work out, what do we want, what do we need, and who are we becoming? What are we leaving behind? The identity, the stories, and our frustrations that we have to let go of because we are stepping into a whole new era. So once again, I want you to get clear on what that is all about for you. So I've talked about the solar eclipse, the new moon in Aquarius, and I'm going to come back now to the year of the fire horse, because I think this is all of those things together are huge energy. This has actually never happened before. Well, certainly not in recorded history. You know, I love to follow Pam Gregory and Molly McCord and lots of beautiful channelers and astrologers because you just get such insight as to what's coming. So the world is getting rid of all the old power structures are collapsing around our ears because it has to all fall down. They also talk in the tarot about the tower moment where the tower has to be pulled down. The old is collapsing. So you cannot depend on external authority anymore. You have to have your own internal authority. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pull some cards. Well, in fact, I already have pulled the cards because I just thought it saves time. And I use my muscle testing to do that. I will show you how the muscle testing works. But most of you who follow me are clients anyway. So you know how the whole muscle testing things work. Many of you are learning that for yourselves. The glyph, as they say, or the symbol for Aquarius is this jagged energy. People often think Aquarius is a water sign because there's a symbol of the guy, a man carrying urn and pouring water out of it. But that's more about the pouring out of emotion into and going into the subconscious, and we won't get into too much of that. But the glyph or the symbol for Aquarius is two jagged lines. And the Aquarius energy is also known to really affect our frequency and our nervous system. So one of the clear messages when I sat down to do this was it's very, very important, especially over the next week or two, but ongoing, well, it always is important to do this, is to really take care of your nervous system. And I have to practice what I preach. And I'm finding at the moment, I'm just going off and doing lots of acupuncture, doing lots of grounding, taking time out to be in nature, to walk over in the bush, to sit under trees, you know, to pick some flowers and do things like that. Everything to get grounded and to keep as much of your life and your routine as simple as possible. Because we have to slow ourselves down in this such speedy energy. So I've got a couple of lovely cards that have come up already, and then we'll see what else is coming up that, you know, the energy wants to be made known. Now, there's a beautiful card, and I was so pleased when this actually came up again because I've got a video that I'm putting out on that. But this card keeps coming up a lot for a lot of clients, and it's called the Law of Grace. And in fact, the unicorns are coming up a lot. So this is the magic of the unicorns. So there's a lot of magic in the air at the moment. I know there's crazy out there, but when you connect into the positivity and the rise in consciousness that's going on, people waking up. And when I say that, I don't ever mean that to be derogatory, but they're waking up to their choices, to their self-empowerment, and to, some of the crazy illusions that have been out there. And I always say one of the biggest illusions is you are not enough. Of course you are enough, but we have to find that new identity for ourselves. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent as I do. But this has come up quite a lot because it's linked into the letting go. And the way this is suggested on how we do that is to use the law of grace. And it's about forgiveness. So I'm going to read the card for you. And as I said, once again, remember, these are horses, the lovely unicorns, and they are magic. So feel into the magic of the unicorns as I go through this. It says, we are all corded over lifetimes. To those who we have harmed with thoughts, words, and actions, and to those who have hurt us. The soul, these soul threads draw the same people, conditions, and situations into our lives again and again. So that's about repeating old patterns. Could be inherited patterns, which I'm doing a lot of clearing off at the moment, and also a lot of past life patterns. So our soul can carry forward from one lifetime into the next old patterns that we have not resolved. And it's often our personal karma. I find that when we do past life stuff, I'm mostly clearing grief and guilt about what we have done or what we have failed to do in previous lifetimes. So it's sort of when that karma hasn't been released and resolved, and we're bringing it forward into this lifetime to continue to work on it. But this card is absolutely going to help you to clear all of that karma. Because going into, did I mention we're going into Aries? That's the other big thing in astrology. There's so many planets moving into Aries, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So again, it's number one. There's so much of number ones and new beginnings happening right now. Okay. So all of the habits that we bring through, it says grace is the solvent that dissolves them forever. All the negative karma will be dissolved in grace. When you choose this card, the unicorns are inviting you to act with pure source love so that you activate the law of grace. Grace is forgiveness. If you offer it to someone who has betrayed you, your heavenly gift breaks the energetic link and sets you free. It also fills that old space in your heart with love and generosity. When you ask for grace for all of the hurts and the harms that you have caused, either consciously or unconsciously throughout your lifetimes, it also releases you and brings huge relief. No one is perfect, for life is a learning experience. If you feel that you have acted imperfectly, forgive yourself. The person you were then did the best they could at that time in those circumstances. Until you forgive yourself, you will attract punishment because you believe you deserve it. Okay. But Source sees the divine in you, accepting you without judgment. See the divine in others. Look at everyone you meet with the eyes of grace. Extend this to your friends, neighbors, acquaintances, all in the public domain and people throughout history. Grace enables relationships to transform with source love. And when you practice giving and receiving unconditional acceptance, all karma is erased. So again, this is so opportune because this is cleaning the slate so that you can start a whole new year and a whole new era as we move into the solar eclipse and the year of the horse. So, a lot of what I talk about, again, I'm going to go back to the book, is about separating. And separating means these cords and these threads that keep us tied to people in our past, to judgments, both of ourselves and of others, and to events that have happened in the past. So, separating really means letting go. So, letting go of the judgments that you have about those events or those people. And it's just making your peace with it and going, I'm no longer willing to hold on to that pain because I have to let it go for my own good and for the good of everyone else so that we can all lift and move forward in clean, pure, divine source love. So I think that was just perfect. The next card that has come up is another winged beast. So anything that has wings are angels. So we're moving from the unicorns to the dragons, and for this card we've got the emerald dragon. So the dragon brings in healing and cosmic abundance. It says, good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with the fifth dimensional blueprint. So I'm going to read, what will I read? All of this? No, it says to read this bit. Now it mentions Archangel Raphael, and I just want to mention Archangel Raphael, who many of you will know is channeled through, oh gosh, I've forgotten her name. I'll put the name in here if I can find it. Isn't that annoying when you forget things that you know, you know? But Archangel Raphael is the archangel of healing. So I love that that's come up. And he, of course, I've just realized, brings in the emerald ray. So this is about healing and healing your heart because the emerald relates to the heart chakra. So all of this is all coming together. I love this. Didn't realize this. Okay. So it says to read the guidance bit. It says, receiving this card invites you to fill your aura with emerald light so that the emerald dragon can enter your energy fields easily and consume all that no longer serves you. So we have the same theme again, letting go of what no longer serves you. Do not carry around old judgments and old woundings, anger and resentment about things that are done, things that are in the past. The past is done. Okay, it says breathe gently in and out of your third eye. That's here. So that the emerald dragons can touch and open it. They will start to pull back the veils of illusion. This card indicates that you are ready to receive healing, love, and cornucopia of wonderful things. So relax at a deep core level and invite these magnificent dragons to bring good fortune into your life. Remember to be grateful for all the good that comes your way. Beautiful. So, letting go of what no longer serves you and bringing in the abundance of the new energy. So the last card I have is from the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed, and we've got the Five of Fire. So again, we've got the fire energy. Okay, these are quite short, so I'll read this one. I don't know it. The Five of Fire, creative brainstorming, unity in diversity, that's quite Aquarian, and honoring differences, again, quite Aquarian. We are all different. Okay, I have the freedom to explore the ideas that seem the most far-fetched. What seems crazy today proves tomorrow to be brilliant. Like a child willing to stretch her imagination when a new playmate comes into the garden. I open to new people and new ideas, intrigued by what is novel and unfamiliar. This is a time for what is counterintuitive, for appreciating the ideas from out of left field and what they might offer. Now, what I got really clearly there was new people who come into the garden, and it's why I sort of stopped and looked at the card. there's a lot of talk that there's going to be more galactic presence coming in. So that's kind of all the UFO alien stuff. And they reckon between this year and next year, we're going to have more visits, apparently. I think it's exciting. And that's all very Aquarian. It's all very galactic, but it's welcoming in new things that would seem completely far-fetched, but which in days and weeks, months and years are going to appear to be brilliant. So I really like that. It says, I open to new people and new ideas, intrigued by what is novel and unfamiliar. So I wonder if that's what it's getting at. I'm testing that and it's going, yes, 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 yes. It's a time for what is counterintuitive, for appreciating the ideas that come out of left field. So it's really something completely different and quite shocking because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of shocking changes and radical transformation. So all of that's going on at the moment. So there you go. Really interesting, exciting stuff. So what are you going to do? You are going to let go of anything that is holding you back. But particularly, I want you to look at old resentments, old angers, old injustices, and judgments that you're holding onto. What I find coming up quite a lot recently, and for myself personally, is getting angry about all the Epstein emails and all the information that's coming out. And we look at the depravity of I hate to say men, but of course, a lot of them are men because of all that sexual excess. I don't know what else to call it, depravity, whatever, and the abuse, particularly towards women and children. But I am very familiar. I want to stay in that middle ground because all of this stuff is going to try and push us into what is right, what is wrong, us and them. I want you have to rise above all this stuff and you have to connect to soul and go into your higher consciousness with all of that stuff coming out. So it brought up for me lots of anger around the injustice and the abuse of women and children. So we can go into being angry at men and angry at the masculine dominating excess world. But we have to take that higher vision and know that it's all coming out, it's all being revealed because it's all being healed. It cannot be healed if it is not revealed. So it's not that we're becoming aware of it, but it doesn't mean it's new. It's been there forever. And thank God it's coming out and being revealed because now it can be healed and we can let it go. And if we rise into oneness and connection with compassion, use the law of grace, use forgiveness because everyone's doing the best they can with the circumstances that they have. I know a lot of the time it's really challenging, but we don't have to understand it all. We don't have to make sense of it all, which I'm very guilty of. I'm very mind dominant, again, being very Aquarian, but we just have to let it go. And we go, it's going out the back door. So don't stop it to look at it. Don't stop to examine it. Just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Take a brush and sweep it out, and you go, thank God that's all being cleared out. And there will be more to come, hopefully, because there's more to be cleaned up. We want to cleanse and clear and step into this new era with a free, open hearts and a nice, clean, fresh energy. Okay, let me just see if anything else wants to come up. No, we're all good. So with that, I am done. Please get clear. So do the letting go and then also look at what you're choosing. What type of person are you choosing to become? Hopefully more loving, more peaceful, more gentle, and any of those things, whatever appeals to you. But what are you going to do? Because this is the fire horse. You have to take action and you have to know where you're going. Otherwise, you will get swept up in the energy and the force of what's coming through. So please stay grounded. Please stay clear and please stay in your hearts. So God bless. I wish you well. And any questions, please let me know. Please like and subscribe and do all those things. And just check me on the socials. And if you need any help, please let me know or get in touch. Thank you very much. God bless. Bye.